Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, News Jester. My name is Junior. Um, on this segment of Toy Buys is a Hot Toy Star Wars. This is the Shore Trooper. So, I think I showed you guys so far the 2-pack from Force Awakens Stormtrooper, 2-pack Snow Trooper, and the individual Sith Jet Trooper and the Artillery Stormtrooper. This is the newest one that I've gotten. I just got this from eBay yesterday for $115, and luckily, this um, seller was actually local, less than 15 miles away from me. So I did a pickup instead of um, shipping, which saved me $14. And that was actually the reason why I went ahead and bought it, because that basically broke down the total price, $115 plus tax. It ended up being like 124. So okay, so here's the thing, right? I had the option of either buying the Shore Trooper or the Transport Trooper. Well, I honestly, wait. So actually, when I was looking into this one, I was looking at the Transport Trooper because it was worn, the one that was worn by Din Djarin, the Shore Trooper, or the Tank Commander. So what got me into this one? Well, let's go ahead and take it off. Let me just take it out of the packaging before I continue the story of how I made my decision. Well, firstly, I made my decision based on price, obviously, whichever one was available. This is just an extra peg. Hot Toys always has that. This is trigger hand, close-fisted hand. I'm not going to show the details on these hands because I'll show the overall detail. Trigger hand on the other side, close-fisted hand on the other side. I'll keep out the trigger hand on the right side because we're going to replace whatever it's holding right now. His blaster, which I don't know what the name of it is. The figure and an accompanying base. The base actually looks pretty cool. Looks kind of like an Imperial wall design. It's got the Star Wars Shore Trooper out there. It's from Rogue One, obviously. And then it has the stand. Oh, I'll probably use that. Let me take that out. All right, so continuing with the story. So obviously, of course, the price kind of makes my decision. As I said before, when it comes to these Hot Toys deals that I'm looking for, my maximum is around 125 for figures, and then for certain special figures, like maybe if I really wanted it, I might go as high as 150 to 160. And but for these figures, they're I'm not the Shore Troopers and the Tank Troopers and the Transport Troopers. They're nice addition to the Imperial Army, but you know, they're not like Stormtroopers, or they're not like Praetorian Guards, or they're not like Snow Troopers that I'm more aware of because they were in the original trilogy. But these are an interesting additional um, Imperial soldiers. Should really I could have done that much better. So I'm not really familiar with these. They almost, at first glance, to me, they kind of look the same. This is mostly kind of based off of the Speeder Scouts, Speeder Bike. Um, Scouts, I think, than more towards the Stormtroopers. The helmet. So with the helmet of this one's, it's when it comes to the transport trooper and the tank commander, um, tank troopers or whatever, the helmet looks almost the same, but there was a difference in the chest armor between the transport trooper and the tank trooper, is what I was noticing. But I like this helmet design more than the tank trooper and transport trooper. Like I said, it's very reminiscent of the speeder bike helmet from the original trilogy, as far as I can see, but just has a lot more interesting detail. Doesn't I kind of like this design right here that goes inwards. It kind of um, focuses your eye on the visor part. I don't know what this is for in terms of the design, whether this is supposed to come down or the design is just like that. Um, I like this part of the design. This is very reminiscent of the old Stormtrooper helmet. Um, and yeah, it's just like, as you can see, there's a lot of nice weathering going on on the helmet. That's the way it is with Hot Toys. A lot of weathering and all that stuff. And that's kind of different from what I'm used to when it comes to Stormtroopers and Star Wars, because for example, Stormtroopers are very, very pristine. They don't have any of these weathering. The only time we see weathering on the Stormtroopers is in the Mandalorian series and the Remnant Stormtroopers. Um, yeah, and I like this red. There is a short trooper leader, platoon leader, or whatever, that has the skirt and the paint, blue paint over here. I believe um, the first offering of this had the blue over here, but I actually prefer it just the way it is right now, where it's just plain kind of this brownish color and then a very bright splotch of red here on the arm, white over here. It seems more striking to me than the blue. The blue is a calming color, and it doesn't. I don't see blue fitting in the Imperial Army. Um, that's why I never really liked that option. And I didn't like the skirt because I really actually like this part, this pouch area. So I actually prefer the short trooper, and I'm kind of lucky in that these are actually going down in prices. So this kind of looks bent to me. So I'm hoping that's a separate piece. Yes, it is, because I'm not anal about it, about things like that. But that's obviously way too slanted. So it even has, look at this, it even has this kind of pouch for bullets or whatever. I don't think this is supposed to open. I believe when I was watching Justin's, this is supposed to be velcroed. Yeah, that way if you want to raise the legs, you can velcro this out and then have a little bit more movement on the legs. I think I've mentioned before in my other reviews that when it comes to Hot Toys, even though they're fully articulated and with double joints and everything, it's kind of hard to move them sometimes depending on whatever fabric they've chosen to do. It looks like that's about as much of a bend that you can do with this one because of the design of the forearm gauntlet. See, there's just no way that's gonna allow for the bend unless you move the armor around like so. And this one, as you can see, is on a garter belt, and it looks like that's basically, it's got, oh, it goes this way and this way. Okay, that's kind of nice. But I'm supposing you can move it up towards like this, so you can move it forward I mean, a little bit more higher, so it bunches up to that side. But you're never going to be able to do the kind of articulation that you're used to with Black Series because you're not hampered by all that kind of stuff. Hot Toys, it's not for full articulation, more like you have some articulation and at the same time you have quality display factor. And yeah, so and then this one over here. Oh yeah, I bought a bunch of stuff today on eBay, which I'll show you when it comes in. And right now, I should not be spending this much money. Honestly, man, honestly, that Facebook purchase that I got from the guy who sold me that 2-pack Snow Troopers. Man, that was really a disaster. Not in terms of the kind of deal that I got, but it was a disaster in terms of like, man, it just basically triggered me so badly because I Hot Toys is not in my radar of something I want to buy anymore because I don't have any more space, especially for these large items, and I certainly don't have um, any wants or desires to do Star Wars Troopers in the 1/6 scale. Maybe, you know, maybe in the Black Series I might do some stuff like that, but not for the Hot Toys uh, because it's too expensive. You can't troop build it, and this is gonna be complicated. That's really stiff. You can't troop build it, and these things are only impressive. Like it's a lot more impressive when you can actually troop build this or have more than one. So the issue I'm having right now with this wrist is that it's so. Look at that. How am I gonna be able to put this in here when there's barely little any peg sticking out in that one? And so I gotta push this in a little bit more to expose more of that peg so that I can actually put it on this stupid hand. And the hand by itself, there's not a lot of give in there. I don't really like that design. That's very, very annoying. While this keeps falling off, let's look at the gun really quick. I mean, man, that is really beautiful. And look, they don't need to do this coming out as a clip, as a gimmick. I really don't need that kind of stuff, and I don't understand why they're putting it in GI Joe or um, where the clip is removable. It'll just get lost. So I need it to be. Okay. So I don't need that high. There really isn't anything in here to grab onto. I really don't like that. Because when I pose this guy, it'll be just like this. There. I'll just pose him like that. I mean, like, and they'll be stationary like this, because that's all I can afford them to. This is flexible, in a way. So my plan with the Star Wars, amazingly enough, I'm more interested in the Troopers because they're cheap, $100. That's why this thing was so dangerous for me because getting a Hot Toys figure for $100 is insanely cheap. It really is. Um, I will be the first one to say getting a Hot Toys figure for 250 is insanely expensive. It's unsustainable for anybody. Because Star Wars, there's so many figures out there that there's no way. Like, you have the original trilogy 4, 5, and 6 characters, main characters, and then you have 1, 2, and 3 prequels, main characters, and then 7, 8, 9, maybe main characters, and but most specifically troopers. Same thing with 4, 5, and 6. You have the troopers, you have the droids, you have all these characters. 250 per figure is unsustainable. There's no way you can do that. So that means your collection is not going to be really that impressive. It's not, I mean, it's going to be standing like that. So when it comes to troopers, you kind of have to pick and choose what you want. And this has a lot of, man, look at that detail on the boots. This basically has a lot of detail that the transport trooper is missing. And the transport trooper was only interesting because Din Djarin was wearing it. But it's a very, very plain uniform. And the character in itself is like, it's a driver. It's a driver. I bought a lot of it on the 3.75 scale because it was on, I got it for a good deal of $4 or $4.60 per figure. So I bought a whole bunch of them just to peel out the ranks of the Imperial Army. So I'm gonna have them like that for now. Yeah, but that's basically it. It's not really a review. It's just more like showing you what I was able to get. I think this is a great buy for $115 for a Hot Toy. That's unbelievable. I'll tell you what too though. I think I said I already bought the Flame Trooper from the Force Awakens or the sequels for $155, which currently is the most expensive Hot Toys figure that I bought from this splurge. Everything has been around in the $105, $110, and the most expensive being, I believe, $125 for the Sith jetpack trooper, and that was incomplete. Oh no, actually that's $125 as well. So I'm averaging out at $125 because this one ended up $125. The Sith jetpack, the Sith jet troopers $125. And that was incomplete. The Flame Trooper, which is complete, is $155. And I ended up buying a Dark Trooper, which I really wasn't that into, because I made a bid of 106 and the guy accepted it. The lowest best offer in his thing, and it said there was existing competing offers. So I guess somebody must have really lowballed him and went below 106. So he just took mine, and that ended up being a total of 115. So I guess that was free shipping. And then today, I won the Tank Commander. So I think that's basically it. That's it for all the troopers that I'm kind of interested in getting each. So the Tank Commanders, the helmet's going to be very similar to the Transport Trooper, but his body armor, I believe, is, yeah, the body armor is actually this one, the one that the Short Trooper has. So it's a combination of both. Yeah, so the Tank Commander at least is an actual soldier instead of the Transport Trooper being more of a driver. But yeah, I really, really do like this one. And it'll be interesting to have on my display. So, yep. Once my other ones come in, I'll do another toy buy segment, and then once they're all in, because honestly, this is it. This is it for my Star Wars Hot Toys. I really don't see myself buying any more. I'm not gonna get anything from the prequels, the Clone Troopers. I'm not interested in that. Um, and the only thing that would tempt me, the only ones I'm looking for is Moff Gideon's Mandalorian armor. That looks pretty cool. The Mandalorian Praetorian Elite Guard. That looks cool too. And what else? I'm kind of dancing around probably buying another Darth Vader, either the 40th anniversary or the Kenobi one. I'm not sure. But at the same time, I really don't want to spend a lot of money. I don't want to spend $250, and I doubt I can get one of those for $250. But yeah, and I already have two Darth Vaders, so yeah, I think once those come in, that's pretty much it for my hot toys. So I'll do a what toys buy segment for each one as they come in, and then I'll do a general um, Star Wars show off for the ones that I ended up buying. So yep, that's it. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next segment, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.